let us understand some fundamental concepts. Fundamental concepts में क्या बोलना चाह रहा हूँ? Like what is a rocket? Rocket is the launcher which will take our satellite to orbit. है ना? जैसे when we have to launch GSAT-20, it is a rocket which will take it to orbit, which will launch it into orbit. So what will be orbiting is the satellite, but the vehicle which takes it is rocket. ये वाली बात पहले समझ में, what is rocket, we understand that. Second part is rocket or launch vehicle, that this we understood. Now generally whenever we'll study about rocket, we'll see that rockets are multi-stage. मतलब उसमें there are multiple engines. Rather than having only one engine, you'll have rockets have engines in multiple stages. जैसे for example PSLV is a rocket which has 4-stage engine. अभी हम we will study about it in a lot of detail. ऐसे ही GSLV is a rocket which has 3-stage engine. तो GSLV में GSLV Mark II is there, GSLV Mark III is there. तो first, what is this funda of multiple stages of engine? Why would a rocket will have multiple stages in the engine? 4 अलग-अलग engine क्यों है PSLV में या GSLV में 3 अलग-अलग engines क्यों है? Let's first understand that. We'll go to individual rockets, but let's first understand that. Now see, let's say this is the surface of Earth. Okay. Now gravitational force will be highest near the surface of Earth. Gravitational force जब हम gravitational force का लिखते थे Gmm by r square, as you move away from the center of Earth, gravitational force will reduce. So now think of this rocket. When this rocket has to go up, which is the place where it has to apply the maximum thrust? It is on the surface, right? As it moves up, the force required, the thrust required to move away would keep on reducing, right? Do we understand this? So the engine required here or the thrust required here will be much larger. The fuel that will need to be burned here, it will be much larger. Whereas as it moves up, the fuel that you will need to burn, the thrust that you will need will be much lesser. Now consider the scenario. Suppose you have a scooter. उस स्कूटर में जो फ्यूल बर्न करना है, you understand that will be limited. That will not be as big as the fuel that needs to be burned in an aeroplane. But in this scooty, if you fit in the engine of aeroplane, will it serve any purpose? No. It will be extra load only. Aeroplane के engine का weight भी उठा के चल रहे हो, whereas the fuel that you need to burn or the force that you require, the thrust that you require is much lesser. Same is the situation in rocket. Initially, you need very powerful engines. Initially, you need to burn a lot of fuel. But as you go up, what happens? The fuel burning required is much lesser, the thrust required is much lesser, and thus engine required is much smaller. So rocket, let's say rocket has, our rocket has 4 engines of different sizes. Now, when I have reached here, I do not need this bigger engine, but if I carry this engine ahead, or if I keep on using this engine, that will be extra weight that I'll be carrying. So what rockets generally do is, when you launch a rocket, after a particular height, it will drop the bigger engine. PSLV में first stage का काम हो गया, taking it to a particular height, and then the first stage engine drops. Why carry this extra weight? Why carry this extra load? ऐसे ही as it goes up, second stage engine का purpose is also done. Drop it, because now the force that you require is much smaller. The thrust that you require is much smaller. You don't need to carry this bigger engine. ऐसे ही third stage, after a particular height, third stage engine will also drop. Are we understanding this? So basically, what would happen is, this is Earth. I launch my rocket. On the rocket, I have my satellite too. Satellite has to be launched. So what happens is, in case of PSLV, what happens? After going to a particular height, stage 1 drops. What is left? Only the 3 engines. The first engine has dropped because it was unnecessarily heavy. We do not need to burn that much fuel anymore. After some more time, what happens? Second engine drops. After some more times, third engine drops. it is the fourth engine and the satellite. Fourth engine with satellite will start revolving. It is the fourth engine which will start revolving, and while it is in the process of revolution, ये engine revolve हो रहा है, it is in the process, fourth engine is also starting to revolve, it will leave the satellite. It will leave the satellite, and satellite, because now satellite का speed उतना ही होगा जितना engine का speed है, satellite will keep revolving in this orbit. This is how rockets launch satellites. Are we able to understand this? ये fundamental concept पहले समझो. In case of GSLV 3-stage engine है, तो it is the third stage engine which will start revolving in the orbit, and in the process will leave the satellite, will separate the satellite, and satellite will continue to revolve in that orbit. Did we understand the fundamental of why 4 stages or why multiple stages in the engine? Why multiple stages in the rocket engine? It is to ensure efficiency. ये बात सबको समझ में आई है?